Pull! Oh! Ooh! Yeah!
Good evening, everyone. We are the Group 7. I am David Jan Dorado, and my group mates are Julian Ginto, Cyrus Estiva, Mary Joy Prepotente, and Pamela Raimundo. And for today's discussion, we will tackle the philosophical view of self of the British philosopher Gilbert Ryle. Gilbert Ryle was born on August 19, 1900 in Brighton, United Kingdom, one of 10 children in a prosperous family. His father was a doctor but also a generalist who had interest in philosophy and astronomy, and passed on his children an impressive library, and the young Ryle grew up in the environment of learning. He was educated at Brighton College, and in 1919 he went to Queen's College, Oxford, initially to study classics, although he was soon drawn to philosophy. He graduated with first-class honors in 1924 and was appointed to a lectureship in philosophy at Christ Church, Oxford. He became a tutor a year later and remained at Christ Church until World War II, and remained at Oxford for his entire academic career until his retirement in 1916. A capable linguist, Ryle was recruited to intelligence work with the Welsh Guards during World War II and rose to the rank of major by the end of the war. He returned to Oxford in 1945, where he was elected Waynflete Professor of Metaphysical Philosophy and Fellow of Magdalen College, Oxford. He generally regarded as easygoing and sociable, and an entertaining conversationalist, but a fierce and formidable debater, unforgiving of pomposity and pretentiousness.
He was president of the Aristotelian Society from 1945 to 1946 and editor of the philosophical journal Mind for nearly 25 years from 1947 to 1971. Gilbert Ryle is a behaviorist who coined the phrase "the ghost in the machine." He produced a critique on Descartes' idea that the mind is distinct from the body. He wrote The Concept of Mind 1949, where he rejected the notion that the mental states are separable from physical states. Ryle called the distinction between mind and matter a category mistakes because of its attempt to analyze the relation between mind and body as if the two were terms of the same categories. Ryle's points against Descartes' theory are the relation between mind and body are not isolated processes. Mental processes are intelligent acts and are not distinct from each other. The operation of mind is itself an intelligent act. According to Ryle, the rationalists view that mental acts are distinct from physical acts and that there is a mental world distinct from the physical world is a misconception. Ryle described this distinction between mind and body as the dogma of the ghost in the machine, where he explained there is no hidden entity or ghost called soul, also understood as mind or self inside the machine called body.
In his The Concept of Mind, 1949, Ryle attacked the body-mind dualism, the claim that the mind is an independent entity inhabiting and governing the body, which has largely permeated Western philosophy since René Descartes in the 17th century, rejecting it as a redundant piece of literalism carried over from the era before biological science became established. He dismissed the idea that nature is a complex machine and that human nature is a smaller machine with a ghost in it, to account for intelligence, spontaneity, and other such human qualities. He referred to Descartes' model as the dogma of the ghost in the machine. Ryle believed that the classical theories, whether Cartesian, idealist, or materialist, made a basic category mistake. by attempting to analyze the relation between mind and the body as if they were terms of the same logical category. He argued that philosophers do not need a hidden principle to explain the supramechanical capacities of humans, because the workings of the mind are not distinct from the action of the body, but are one and the same. Look at another way he characterized the mind as a set of capacities and abilities belonging to the body.
He claimed that mental vocabulary is merely a different way of describing action, and that a person's dispositions to act in certain situations. He concluded that adequate descriptions of human behavior did never refer to anything but the operations of human bodies, which can be seen as a form philosophical behaviorism, also known as analytical or logical behaviorism, which became a standard which among ordinary language philosophers for several decades, although more recently it has morphed into a kind of functionalism. Ryle also formulated cartography analogy for his conception of philosophy. He suggested that competent speakers of a language are to a philosopher what simple villagers are to mapmaker. The villager knows his way around his village well enough for personal and practical purposes, but may not be able to use a map to pinpoint or describe routes to an outsider. In the same way, philosophers should be able to explain and make apparent the meaning of sentences by mapping the words and phrases of a particular statement, generating what Ryle called implication threads, such that each word or phrase of a statement contributes to the statement in such a way that, if the words or phrases were changed, the statement would have a different implication. Philosophy, then, should search for the meaning of these implication threads in the statements in which they are used.
Gilbert, Ryle's philosophy of mind as it came to be called has been a central issue in philosophy for more than 25 years. Died on October 6, 1976 in Yorkshire, where he was on vacation. He was 76 years old when Gilbert Ryle died quickly and cleanly, as would be expected of him. He was left work in progress, some consistent in comments on manuscript sent him and left neatly ordered John Mabot. Say that after going through Rice's papers, he wrote 20 letters to such corresponded to the United States and Canada, Australia, Germany and Italy and France, Israel and Pakistan, Mexico and the Armenian Republic of the Soviet Union, conveying his comments and the views of his died. Ryle was assiduous in maintaining such philosophical topic. It looked some to Tolbert in the later years of his editing of mine. There was allegedly a discussion note that it was resolved published, partly because written from the part it made so many represent to different papers in mind, but it turned out that the papers were from one issue and no other from one copy. He went weekly to speak to philosophical confidence, conferences where most speakers were what he carefully grouped on return as the continents, and he enjoyed such occasion as that on which he and Armstrong were due to give consecutive lecture in Europe and were introduced by this Mr. Armstrong, whose work we know well, and this is Professor Winfield, with whose writing we are of course equally familiar.